You trust the quality of what you know, not the quantity. Advice from Mr. Miyagi that his actor, Pat Morita, just didn't take to heart. For today's obscure pop culture history lesson, we're going to talk about all the times that Pat Morita whored himself out to basically play Mr. Miyagi. Just look at Pat Morita.
Wax on, wax off.
The very first thing you think of is, this guy is definitely someone's karate sensei. Before he even played Mr. Miyagi, he was Arnold on Happy Days.
Welcome, students.
You're teaching the class?
Sure, I figure you want to learn how to fight, I teach you to fall.
And Arnold also taught karate, where he beat up that dork Ralph Malph and that goof Potsy. But no, he wasn't allowed to lay a finger on Richie Cunningham.
Don't, Arnold! Takahashi!
The star of the show is not going to take any bumps.
You see that? I just show you the hole, you see?
Pat Morita in a gi just feels right, which is why he was always the producer's first choice to play. He wasn't, apparently, the first choice to play Mr. Miyagi in The Karate Kid. I stand corrected. But come on, who else was going to play that role? This guy lived a Miyagi lifestyle.
I was in a tournament, or watching a tournament in Japan recently.
You want to get him to do a comedy segment for your show? He does it in a dojo.
You see a fry on the wall? Watch.
And when he's not in the dojo, he was practicing his moves in a place like this. I mean, if you didn't know any better, I could tell you that was a rejected shot from Karate Kid 2, and you'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But then again, why is he mastering karate moves for a shiatsu massage video?
Aloha. I'm really glad you could make it. I want to talk to you today about shiatsu. Shiatsu is the Japanese word for finger pressure.
Well, there you go. You learn something new every day. Japanese finger pressure. That's what shiatsu means. Though this is starting to look more like Miyagi-Do Copperfield.
Also notice that about every inch and a half or so you'll find a little well between the ribs, and this is where we affix our point of focus.
He's all up in that booty.
Now, breathing is very important on the part of both the giver and the receiver.
But if you master these techniques, you will feel more than comfortable when you're waxing on and waxing off.
And believe it or not, several days later, even though it was still a bit sore, I was able to wax on and wax off again.
And if he keeps rubbing her this way, he's going to do a lot more waxing off than waxing on. So with an iconic character like Mr. Miyagi, obviously there's going to be spoof and parody versions of him. You'll get your Sesame Streets.
Eyes watch, ears listen, voice quiet, body calm.
Your Saturday Night Lives. Spoof movies, obviously.
Mr. Yamagashi, I'm done.
Good, Charlie.
Charlie, want to hang out for a while?
Why did this VH1 movie make Mr. Miyagi some sort of pervert?
Yamagashi mix virgin margaritas. Maybe even salt Charlie's rim. Catch my drift?
No.
Him and Danielson were not like that. No, I'm actually not talking about any of the times that his character was parodied, or the times where he was in a video game as some sort of disembodied floating head who gives you advice.
What? Who disrupting peace? I am Keisuke Miyagi, bonsai gardener from Okinawa.
This is a video game called Reality Fighters.
What? Me? A martial arts sensei? Look at me. I'm old man now.
It's a VR game, and Mr. Miyagi is here to guide you. Of course, I'm not going to count this one either, because Mr. Miyagi is not voiced by Pat Morita. So again, didn't count. Side note, why is Mr. Miyagi so pissed off?
Fighting has no place in heart anymore. Besides, why you think you're worthy of my time?
Who pissed on his bonsai tree?
Come! Show yourself!
I'm also not going to count the commercials that use his image. like the famous brisk iced tea one, where Bruce Lee gets in a fight with Daniel and Miyagi.
You lack focus. My master will teach you.
Arnold, from Happy Days? Lipton brisk iced tea? Where did you get that? Editing mistake. In my favor.
Because I'm really confused why they have beef. What did Daniel do to Bruce Lee?
Brisk baby!
Is this because he won't share brisk iced tea? It is $6 for a 12-pack, okay? You guys could have 4 sodas each if you split the cost. Are you telling me that Bruce Lee can't cover a $2 tab? This video today is actually about all the times Pat Morita himself whored out the name of Mr. Miyagi. And we're going to split these into categories. Our first category is Pat Morita, the Karate Master. We have our generic category of just Karate Master. This is a role where Pat Morita will show up in a gi or be giving out sage advice, like in the Lamb Chop Hanukkah special. Yeah, I didn't know that Lamb Chop had a Hanukkah special either. In this special, Charlie Horse is trying to be brave, so naturally he looks up to idols like Alan Thicke.
What am I gonna do?
I got the nerve.
And our karate man, Pat Morita.
When you choose a mighty ninja, then you can't go wrong. If you need a hero kid, he's gotta be strong.
Is anybody as creeped out by Alan Thicke singing about the Nerf as I kinda am right now?
I got the strength.
I got the nerve.
No? You too? Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't alone.
Charlie.
What am I gonna do? And I don't need you.
We also have Spy Mates from 2003, a film starring Emma Roberts, the guy from Spin City, and a monkey secret agent.
Now is the time to prepare you for the battle ahead.
Who gets rescued by Pat Morita, and then gets brought to their dojo,
I am Kiro-sensei.
where he battles Pat Morita's ultimate ninja character.
This will be the challenge of your life.
Oh, and if you were worried that hilarity wouldn't ensue, it totally does. The monkey is the true karate master.
The most powerful kick in Miyagi-Do karate.
The reason I made this video here today is because, well, it seemed like a lack of quality control was happening in this career. Like, if you paid him enough money, he would totally be Mr. Miyagi in your film. The modern day version of hiring one of these guys on Cameo to just play the same character that they got famous for. Case in point, there was a movie called Blunt Movie. It's one of these movies where it's a bunch of loose sketches all put together. You remember that piece of crap called the Underground Comedy Movie?
It's the Underground Comedy Movie.
Yeah, this is even more low budget. And Pat Morita plays Mr. Miyami. What else is in this film? Humongous head versions of George Bush Jr. and Sr.
A lot of people go to restaurants. That's a lot of freedom to spread.
Dennis Rodman.
Sure, always have time, my little slugger.
I thought I was your little princess.
Exactly.
And a whole bunch of weed jokes. It is called Blunt Movie. Mr. Miyami? He still kicks butt. Gives out life advice.
Learned your first lesson already.
Yeah, and what was that? How to build up your leg strength.
And even does the crane kick. Oh, and also smokes a lot of weed. Because, again, this is Blunt Movie.
Now, where are my rolling papers?
Mr. Miyami enjoys his weed. Mr. Miyagi enjoys his liquor.
Hey, drink.
Then we have the category that I call, well, yeah, that's obviously Mr. Miyagi. I don't care what you call him, that's clearly Mr. Miyagi. It's like these TV shows knew if your character needs some life advice to overcome a bully, this is the man to hire. He's so stoic, he's calm. He's gonna teach that main character a lesson without the main character realizing that a lesson is being taught.
Now you are ready, Gregory Sutton.
I'm Will Smith. I come to learn karate from the greatest, most revered master the martial arts world has ever known.
Oh, well,
Hey, listen, man, I want to be just like Steven Seagal.
Oh, you want to be a bad actor?
It's like just being in Pat Morita's presence makes you want to crane kick.
We must make ready for your coronation.
I'm ready to be king of karate!
Think not from the head, think from the heart.
Chan, you have offended my family. Now I must avenge my brother's death.
Having fun? That's okay. Everybody likes to do that.
And if you cross him, well, he's gonna kick your butt. Just like in the feature film Karate Dog.
Remember all that I taught you, Jojo. Words are precious. Use them only for truth. Look, this was Tibet. Yes.
Is that Hamilton?
Hamilton, my favorite student.
Where he obviously taught this dog how to do proper karate.
Jojo, I hit.
Go,
Okay, why is Anonymous stealing the TGRI Secret of the Ooze canisters?
Remember to protect the dogs. Speak only to one who seeks the truth. I love you, dear friend.
Then there were the times that Pat Morita was just Mr. Miyagi again, in some of the most random places, like an alien ant farm music video.
You've been struck by a smooth criminal.
No, not the one that everybody knows. This one. To the best of my knowledge, this was the last time he was a live-action Mr. Miyagi.
Wait!
Unless there was a talk show that I couldn't find online that maybe brought him in.
I don't think I can go on.
Jordan-san, shut up. Ush.
And then he's gonna find out what pain and fear really mean. Right in front of 1,000 people.
Then, in animation, he taught Joey Fatone of NSYNC how to kick some butt. In the first season of Robot Chicken, he plays himself.
And will you train me, Mr. Miyagi? First of all, I'm Pat effin' Morita, you nutsack. Second of all, you're too old for the training.
But then he also calls him Daniel-san, so I'm pretty sure this is actually Miyagi.
Daniel-san, I thought I smelled failure.
That toilet's not going to unplug itself.
It's like we're in two different realities, where Pat Morita and Miyagi exist? Yeah, I'm confused too. You know what else confused me? Why in this commercial does he care that I'm watching Karate Kid for the millionth time?
Show me wax on, wax off. No, not like that. Hang on a sec. You've seen this movie so many times, you should be a black belt by now.
What am I supposed to watch instead? Congo?
Tell you what, try something new. Over in the 100s are all the blockbuster pay-per-view movies. You can choose from comedy, romance, action. Concentrate.
Hey, if you like this episode of Obscure Pop Culture History, make a suggestion below, crane kick that bell. Also, if you're at it, do some light cardio, write an essay about why Pat Morita should have been better at choosing roles, watch the 3rd season of Gotham, organize your sock drawer, leave a comment below. I think I may have already said that. I don't know, you have a lot to do. Do whatever the hell you want at the end of this video. Who am I to tell you, right?